Good guy right there. My heart is busting full. This is just such a beautiful culmination of a whole lot of wrangling and seeking and gathering, and we're so happy to be back on this stage, the Virginia Folklife stage where this contest began, 4 years ago. This is our 5th edition of the Scott Street 5-string finals. And before I go any further, thanks to John, of course, for letting us be here, and we hope this will be the permanent home of this festival, this contest from now on. Put a little drop in his bucket if you feel the same way. This contest was started again 4 years ago in memory of a gentleman that we dearly loved. He was a jam partner of ours. He helped a whole lot of people out of some legal hassles in the music business all over the country. A wonderful gentleman we lost too soon. His name is Scott Street. And this contest is in his memory. And his dear wife Ginny and their children Lisa and Scott are here with their families. Her sister-in-law Peggy is here. Please give the Street family a big hand and thank them for giving us Scott all the years that we had him, and for making sure that this contest was to be ongoing and to make it something special in terms of the lucrative prize money that is available. Of course, if you don't know, we have 2 categories, clawhammer and bluegrass, and each pays first prize $1,000, first runner-up $600, second runner-up $400. These kids have come from all over Virginia, North Carolina. They've come a long way with their families. They had to deal with a lot of logistical craziness today with the traffic and all that. But I am so happy that everybody is here, and we're going to hear some fine music from young people. Y'all ready for this? Oh, man. Let me just briefly say that we've had a great track record in this contest. It's only 5 years old, but Austin Heffelfinger, who was our winner last year, has just gotten at age 14, I think, as a professional on-the-road bluegrasser with this group called New Blue, which is one of the big touring bands in bluegrass today. So he's a pro as a teenager. Trey Wellington was a finalist the first year of this contest. He was just awarded the IBMA Momentum Award for Instrumentalist of the Year. And his band, his youth band, the Cane Mill Road from down in North Carolina, also won a Momentum Award for Band of the Year at the IBMA down in Raleigh just this past week or so. So that's Trey. G. Rockwell was our #1 bluegrasser in 2017. He received an IBMA scholarship to the Bela Fleck Blue Ridge Banjo Camp down in Brevard. Some of you may have, well, I know you've heard of Bela, but yeah, so congratulations to G. He's got a great new record that he's just put out called Spark. It might be out there on Spotify. I'd rather you buy it if you can. Anyway, every year, these kids come along and they evolve and they grow and they keep playing and they get better, and then they're starting to distinguish themselves, and it makes us look good too, which is really exciting for us. So, let us begin, shall we? By first introducing our judges for this year. I'm going to start with a guy who I've probably known the longest of any of our judges this year. I don't know, Malcolm, it might be close, but Sam and I go way back. He used to be around Richmond a lot with the Heights of Grass, you might remember, who evolved into the Virginia Squires. I know you know about them, and of course he is in this little band that happens to be at the festival this year we're thrilled about, and they're called the Lonesome River Band. So Sammy Sheeler is our judge right over here. Steve Martin prize winner, and a 5-time IBMA Banjo Player of the Year. He's a fine fella, and he's a dad, and is at 2.5 years old. He doesn't want to sleep. He was wanting to come here, Daddy, play. Too excited about that. So we're so happy to have Sammy here. We also have Brett Martin here, Brett Morris Martin from the Jam program. Brett, come up here because I wanted to just have you talk about the program just for a quick second. This is a program that sort of shares the name with our nonprofit, Jam Inc., but it's technically Jam. Tell me, this is Brett. Give Brett a big hand. She's our clawhammer judge, one of our clawhammer judges this year. So it's also Yeah, tell us about this amazing program. The scope of it is remarkable. Y'all cover a lot of ground with a lot of kids.
We do, and JAM in our neck of the woods, which is in 4 states, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee now, stands for Junior Appalachian Musicians. So what we're trying to do is get traditional music, which is generally old time and bluegrass, throughout the mountains to kids, to provide them with accessible music education that they generally don't otherwise have access to. So most of our after-school programs are in pretty rural, low-income areas, and we have 53 different programs this school year alone in those 4 states, and we're serving around 2,000 kids.
And to find out about what you do and how to support it, jamkids.org. Right? Is that it? Thank you for coming, Brett. Brett, yeah, there's a switch on that. She's also a fine player in her own right as well, so it's great to have her this year helping us out. Another gentleman is no stranger to many of you. You've been fans of his for many years. He's been in the business so long, and he's so good and so real and so entertaining and talented, and we had to get him here because we found out he was playing the festival. We wanted to have him for a judge, and he's none other than that lovable Riley Bogus right down there. Riley. We took him out to play for some elementary school kids the other day, and you have a lot of patience as well, my man. They were enthusiastic, almost to a fault. You know, it's hard to get 350 kids to kind of be quiet enough to listen. So it's 1 versus 350, and it wasn't a versus thing at all. He had them in the palm of his hand, and it was lovely. So anyway, Riley is here, and don't forget to catch him in various places around the campus for the next 2 days. And last and certainly not least, he's our local ringer. He's an incredible banjo player. He's been at it for a really long time. He's now with Cook County Bluegrass, and he's also with, no, that's not the one. He's in the Commonwealth Bluegrass Band with Randy Cook. Sorry, Randy. I think Randy left anyway, so it doesn't matter. But also, Malcolm is a distinguished songwriter. I'll bet many of you who've ever been in a jam before have played along with In the Gravel Yard. Malcolm wrote that song. The checks are still trickling in. Yeah, right? And been recorded by Doyle Lawson and Blue Highway. And he won Song of the Year. And what year was that? Some year, 90-something, 96 at the IBMA. Malcolm Pulley is our other bluegrass judge here. So those are our distinguished panelists who have a very difficult job to do. I will say that they had already a tough job to do by taking the entries we had from all over the country and narrowing it down to 3 in each category to come compete here today. That wasn't an easy job, and they did a fine job, as you are about to hear. So if you're ready, we are. Sorry for the rambling preamble. Let's have some picking. We're going to start with, this is alphabetical order, and we'll start with our bluegrass players first, and we welcome him back. He was a finalist last year at this competition. He's from down in Boone, North Carolina. He's our one Tar Heel this year, and it's great to welcome him back. Come on up here and get yourself set. Where's Jacob? Jacob Moretz, everybody. Jacob from Boone, North Carolina. it's a little warm up here and it's probably sweaty and the pick flew off. So let's give him another run at that second one. Go ahead, Jacob, that's all right. Super blue, anybody? It's kind of tighter. Oh yeah, okay, sure. The Bucket Brigade is here. Y'all are a little late though, but it's okay. There's still time. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, this is why they're here. You know about them, right? This is how this festival happens. It's free, and we want to keep it that way. So be generous, but don't distract the audience as we are having important business here. All right, up next is all the way from Lonesome, Virginia. Did anybody else come in on 64 as it was closed today or something from that direction? Come on up here, Taylor, get yourself set. And Dad too. That's the thing about this contest, because our contestants generally come from a long way. 2 years ago, our winners were all the way from Connecticut and Ohio, you know, it's like, and we have contestants from Arkansas, I think is the farthest away, Alana. Anyway, we appreciate so much these kids coming, and their parents especially, for getting them here. But here they are, and he is back. Ladies and gentlemen, he is back. This is his 4th year as a finalist, and he's hoping that he never comes back again, because I mean by that is the first place winners are ineligible from that point on. So let's give it up for this young man from Lonesome, Virginia. He's 15 years old. His name is Taylor Parks. Taylor.
There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people here.
Yep.
Oof. This first song I'm going to be playing is a Earl Scruggs classic called Cripple Creek.
Cripple
This next song is a theme song you might recognize from an old cartoon, and I'll give you a hint. Yabba-Dabba-Doo. Thank you.
There you go. This is Dan West. Helping him out there, helping the boy out. Taylor Parks, Lonesome, Virginia, out on the Eastern Shore. Let me also point these out while our final bluegrass contestant makes the stage. Aren't these pretty? Y'all come by and take a look at them at the end of the competition and see how gorgeous they are. These are what the first place winners get to take home, and they're different every year because they have the current 15th anniversary logo on there. It's got Scott Street 5-string final sort of floating in this crystal thing, and it's got a base that lights up from the inside. Ooh, I mean, you ought to see it. So that and a few bucks is a pretty cool take, and we'll see in a little while who's going to get to take these home. It might be this guy. His name is Stewart Werner. He's from Rocky Mount, Virginia, and we're glad to have him here for the first time in the Scott Street 5-string finals. 16 years old. And his dad, Stewart, is here to hang with him on the rhythm guitar a little bit. Let's see what they're going to have for us. Please welcome him once again from Rocky Mount, Stewart Werner. Let's go, buddy.
Thank you. We're going to be doing a little medley, so we will be doing both songs at the same, well, not the same time, but one right after the other. We're going to do a song called Foggy Mountain Special, not to be confused with Foggy Mountain Breakdown, and then we're going to transition into ground speed. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
Virginia. That wraps up our bluegrass competition. And we have 3 more fine young people who are about to come up here and show you the other side of banjo, which is delightfully taking on a really nice renewed level of popularity. You're seeing more and more young bands and even older bands just enjoying this wonderful, very different style of right hand that is clawhammer, frailing, a lot of different ways to call it, drop thumb. I mean, it's just another world, and for any of you who have ever tried to play it, it looks pretty deceptively easy to do, but it is not. It's, you gotta work real hard to get that move down to do it. So you're about to see some of that right now, and we're so happy to have this young lady joining us for the first time at this contest. She is from Floyd, Virginia. She, by the way, is a student of a young man who was here as a judge with us for the last 2 years, a guy named Victor Furtado, who just won the award that Sammy won 10 years ago, 9 years ago, whenever the Steve Martin Prize for Banjo and Bluegrass. So you got a good teacher. Let's see what he's taught you. How about that? Here she is, everybody, from Floyd, Virginia. She's 15 years old. This is Hannah Cantrell.
I'm going to play a medley of 2 tunes. The first one's called Julian Johnson, traditional tune. And the second one is a tune by an incredible fiddler named Nate Leaf, and it's called Spider Shoe.
That's Hannah Cantrell from Floyd, Virginia. Lovely to have her here for the first time. Come on up, here she is. You may, if you were here last year, of course, we've been up on the Carmax family stage for 3 years with this contest, and we're, again, very happy to be back here at Folklife. And last year, this young lady from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, was a finalist. And it's tough what these people over here are doing and having to do, and so it was close, I'll bet. I know it was. They talked to me afterwards about how close the competition was. But anyway, she's back for another run this year, and we're delighted to see her once again. Please welcome her again from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. She's 16 years old. This is Claire Childress, everybody.
Thank you all so much. Let's see if I can get it in the microphone. The first song I'm going to play is one called Snowdrop, and this is actually from Kirk McGee that he recorded in the 1960s, so I'll give my run on that.
Childress from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. And now, last but not least, wrapping up our clawhammer category, his first appearance with us. It's a pretty banjo you got. Look at the back on that thing. We can show him that. Isn't that pretty? Sweet mother of pearl. Wow. That's mighty fine. He's all the way here from rural Retreat, Virginia, and I will, anybody else? There's Mom. Hi, Wendy. And by the way, once he finishes playing and the judges are conferring, I'm gonna get them all back up here and chat with them each for a minute just to see, why are you playing the banjo? Just to ask questions like that. So I know you want to be around for that part. So stay tuned. First of all, let's get him done, and if there's any butterflies, let's let him loose, because here he is from rural Retreat, Virginia. He's 16 years old, and he's Nicholas Wingo. Take it away, buddy.
I'm gonna do a song called Mississippi Sawyer, and then after that, I'll probably just wing it and do another one that I feel like. Now, I guess I'm gonna do Arkansas Traveler, because that's what I'm feeling right now, I guess.
Wingo, everybody. Finishing up our clawhammer category all the way from rural Retreat, Virginia. And man, I'm glad I'm up here and not sitting down there. You know what I mean? That is hard. That's a fine plan. It's just so joyous to see what time and talent, more time can do. You know, it's all about putting in the time when you get to play like that. And we're so proud of these young people for the investment they have made, and I know it'll pay great dividends for the rest of their lives. And we get to listen in, and that's a pretty sweet thing. So give them all a big hand, all 6 of our Scott Street 5-string finalists here today. So let me get all the contestants back up here. We'll go backwards this time. Nicholas, come on up here. Let me chat with you for a second. Is this, hey Jeff, is this mic on? Is this other mic on? Hey Jeff? Is this mic? Yeah, you're good, okay. So anyway, Nicholas, how long have you been playing, first of all?
Well, I've been playing for 6 years.
How many hours a day does it take to get to do that?
I don't really have a set time that I practice. I just practice all throughout the day when I feel like it.
But I've always been impressed with young people, or anybody. I've got so many friends who play so well, and I know what it takes, how much time. But the whole thing is that you would rather do that than probably anything else, maybe. Am I wrong about that? I mean, you would just as soon go off and sit down and play. It's not like you have to make yourself practice, or do you?
I don't have to make myself. It's just really fun for me. That's what I like to do.
Are you, by the way, where's Rural Retreat? What's the next biggest town to where you live?
I guess next biggest town would be Wistful.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
I know where Wistful is. I've actually been there. No, that's the good answer. That's what I wanted to know. It's out that way.
Yeah.
So you come a long way to be here today. And
Yes, sir.
And so we thank you and all the rest of them. And a career for you, maybe, if it works out, or you got something else in mind that you want to do with your life?
I think I'm going to grow up and be a barber.
I like that. I think that's a great skill to have. And you have to take your work home with you. That's the nice thing about a trade like that. Good luck to you. Whatever happens, we wish you well. Thanks for being here today, man.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck to you. Nicholas Wingo. All right, Claire. Where's Claire Childress? I want to talk to her. Claire Childress, who again was here last year. It's interesting, I'm way out in the Southwest, most everybody. Floyd's not that far out, but yeah. And so Big Stone Gap, what's your nearest town to where you live?
Yeah, so it's around the border of Kentucky and Tennessee. So you can go one way and go to Kentucky and another way to go to Tennessee.
Yeah, so like Bristol is either
It's
Virginia
near Bristol.
or Tennessee.
Yeah.
You have to take your pick of which
Yeah.
one. Okay. So you've been playing how long then, Claire?
I've been playing 5 years.
So do you have a particular time of day or a place at your house that is where you tend to go work on your craft that you're doing?
Yeah, I would say definitely it's in my bedroom. I can't do it in the kitchen because I have little siblings. They run around everywhere. I say, quit playing with my banjo. So I do it in my room, and I guess I just do it whenever I can find time. You know, it's very important to me, so.
Well, it shows. How many hours a day? Can you put a number on that? Does it vary?
I would say maybe an hour a day. I'm not very sure.
Do you see yourself making a living at this? Would that be something you'd aspire to if it works out?
Yeah, I would really enjoy that. Also, like recording music and stuff, I think would be a good route to take with music as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you're on the road. Got to start somewhere, and you're off and running. Thank you so much, Claire. Good to have you here
Thank you.
today. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Claire Childress, finalist last year and this year. Let's see what happens in a few minutes. Hannah Cantrell, our first time from Floyd, Virginia. Come on up here. Hannah. Yeah, I think Sammy Sheeler told me about Victor Furtado a couple of year ago, and he said, have you heard of Victor Furtado? I said, I've heard the name. He said, man, you gotta catch that guy. So anyway, we found out about Victor, and we've had him here as a judge for the last 2 years. So how did you, first of all, welcome, and glad to have you here. So how did you meet Victor, and how did that start? This is making him your teacher. Come in a little closer.
Yeah, so I was taking guitar lessons at the Floyd Jams program, and he was a teacher for the advanced class. So I met him through there and really liked the way he played banjo.
Yeah.
Decided to.
When he was first judge here 2 years ago, I guess maybe 3 years ago now, anyway, but he was he was young enough to actually have competed, and we said, no, sorry, you're not going to compete, we're going to make you a judge, and we want to be fair to everyone. So anyway, he's an amazing young man, and he's definitely off and running, and he's at Berkeley now, he's a student at Berkeley, right? So anyway, what about you? In the future, would you love to do this as your livelihood, or are you just doing it for the fun?
I'm not really sure. I definitely want to do something with music, but yeah, I'm not really sure.
You say guitar, you play the other instruments as well as you play the banjo?
I play piano and guitar.
Piano. Take lessons really young, maybe?
I think I was 8 when I started taking lessons.
And
Yeah.
banjo you picked up when?
About a year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago. All right, let's hear it for the quick study, ladies and gentlemen. It's Hannah Cantrell. Thank you, Hannah. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
From down here in Floyd, Virginia. Beautiful place. All right, let's get our bluegrassers up here while the judges continue to confer and deliberate. Stewart, where are you, Stewart? Come on up here, buddy. Stewart Werner, give it up for him. He's from Rocky Mount. I do know where that is. Hey, man. Good to see you. All right, good. So it's nice to have you here. How'd you hear about our contest? Tell me about that.
Well, I have one person to thank for that, and that's my Aunt Amy sitting over there with the white plaid shirt on. She heard about it at Merlefest. It was announced, I think, by you. And
It's possible. I would have.
It's a possibility.
You want as many contestants. That's a good place to throw
But-
it out there. But yeah, good.
she arranged for all of this, and without my knowledge at first, I wasn't even aware of it until she even mentioned it to me, and I was like, okay, let's do it.
I mean, the money's
Wasn't
good.
yeah, well,
A little road trip. Yeah.
I don't object to playing music.
Well, it's obvious that there's something in there that is sufficiently motivational. You don't have to have a contest and a big prize ahead of you to make you play, which is very clear. How long have you had the banjo as your passion?
Well, technically speaking, I've been playing for maybe about 8 or 9 years, but it was usually just like kind of a passing thing for about 5 or 6 of those years, and then about 3 years ago, I really started to pick it up and take it seriously, and I haven't stopped ever since.
So how much time do you put in at it, and is there a place and time of day that is best suited for that kind of endeavor for you?
Well, I think actually it gets on people's nerves how much I try to play. I bring an instrument to school about every single day and try to slip in as much time as I can practicing at school.
In between classes and stuff?
Yeah, and it's usually a hassle trying to get somewhere to play where I won't bother at least one person.
Well, it's better than it was when you first started, because I tried to learn years ago and it didn't last long, because it's not much fun listening to a banjo or a fiddle for that matter when it's not being played very well.
I always
It's
heard
not
that,
a pleasing thing.
Yeah, I always heard there's 2 different types of fiddle players. There's good ones and there's bad ones. There's no in between.
Yeah, well, no, it's kind of true to that. And a career for you, maybe? Would you aspire to being in a band or doing studio work or what?
Well, I mean, I'd love to do those things, and that is where I'm headed, but I don't know if that's the only thing that I should do to keep myself sustained, because, as you know, we make about tens of dollars playing
Tens of dollars,
bluegrass music.
Of course, yeah. Exactly right. Well, I think you have a good understanding of what's ahead of you.
I'm a little bit prepared for it,
Yeah.
I think.
Good. Have some options. is
Yes.
all I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
But you'll have that music to carry with you all your life. I enjoyed hearing you play today. Thank you, man.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
man.
coming.
Appreciate it.
Hey, everybody. Stewart Werner. Rocky Mount, Virginia. He's just 16. Year and a half. Oh. All right, Taylor. Where are you, buddy? Taylor Parks. He's back. An old familiar face here on the Scott Street 5-string final stage. It's great to have him here. Yeah, come on up. All the way from. So what? That is the Eastern Shore, right? Bloxham?
Yes.
Yeah. And so the closest, Cape Charles or Nancock was the closest to Bloxham. Where are you? Up north or south or what?
About an Hancock is it?
Nancock's close enough.
Yeah.
So where did you first hear a banjo played, and what did you think?
Mainly heard it from Dad, because I mean he's always playing. So.
Who'd you hear? Your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other players out there that we may know their names that kind of inspired you to move in a certain direction? Are you asking Dad?
No, Sammy.
Oh, okay. What? Anyway, so are you looking at this guy? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I get it now. I'm sorry. Well, of course. No, I think Sammy has been an inspiration. Whether you're just a fan of the music or a player, Sammy is his own stylist and has created his own. When you hear those LRB tunes, you know, even if you don't know what it's on. It's not. You're not looking at the title on your Spotify where you know Sammy Sheeler when you hear him play. And that's a good role model to have, and he's a great human being as well, so that's another good thing about it. So tell me this, so you've been playing for how long then?
About 8 years, maybe.
8 years, working hard. Are you looking at something, I'd like to ask, you know, down the road, as you've got a good life ahead of you, would you like to spend it traveling for a living and playing for free, is what musicians say they do? You know, it's a tough life if you want to make a living at it.
Well, I plan on taking Sammy's job when he retires.
There you go. Oh, I think Youngin is here. Oh, awesome. Maybe we'll get to meet him. All right, well, good luck to you. Taylor, it's great to have you back. Thank you for hanging in. Thank you for being persistent. And we hope everything works out for you, man. It's great. Thank you, Taylor Parks, everybody from Bloxham, Virginia on the Eastern Shore. All right, and our bluegrass finalist number 3, but he was first today. Jacob, come on up here, Jacob Moretz. He's our furthest flung. Although Boone might not, I don't know what's farther away, Big Stone Gap or Boone? I don't know. Boone might, even though you're in North Carolina, but whatever. We split hairs. Nice to see you. Good to have you here, man. Glad to have you back. So tell everybody how you got bit by the banjo bug.
Well, somebody in at my church was playing it one Sunday, and I just liked the way it sounded, and so I wanted to try it.
You have a church that has banjo music at church? Is that what you're saying, or just somebody that?
Somebody came in and guest played that week.
I want to go to that church. That's what I was getting at. That sounds fun. So, and you've been playing for roughly how long then, did you say?
About 6 years.
6 years? And how about, is it something, the practice part of it, is it something that you just want to do, or is it something that you have to make yourself do?
Kind of have to make myself do it.
Yeah. Because there may be other things that are interesting to you as a young teenager. You're 14, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what else do you like to do besides pick?
I like to play baseball and hunt and fish.
Well, that's a lot to do. You're spreading it pretty thin there, buddy. Those are all good things and fun things to do. Well, I hope you stick with it. You got a lot of talent, and it's really fun to have you back here this year. Thank you so much for coming, and good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. It's Jacob Moretz from Boone, North Carolina. So how we doing? You got something for me, Malcolm? Give it up for Malcolm Pulley, everybody. Can I get all the, what'd you say, Ralph? He showed his work. To see that. I'll take it later. Okay. Let me get all the contestants on stage, please. And then after we announce the winners and the placings, we're going to have all of them join at least 3 of our judges, I think, for a big old slamming jam up here on stage. So all the contestants up here as we announce the winners, give them a big hand. Jacob, Taylor, Stewart, Hannah, Claire, Nicholas. Well, there they are. The tough part is, well, they did the tough part. It's going to be, I can read this, but it's going to be hard because, you know, it's just they've invested so much in being here and so much of their lives to be able to play as well as they do. And it's just hard to quantify things like that, the subjectivity of music. So know that all these guys are finalists and worthy of being here, and we look forward to hearing from them and following their stars as they continue to rise and as they continue to work at getting better, which every musician worth his salt does. I mean, these guys just don't sit around, you know, the Rileys and the Sammys of the world sit around and think it's all going to be fine. They practice all the time. It's just, but it's a lovely pursuit with so much reward. We'll start with bluegrass because that's what we did earlier. And our second runner-up today with a prize of $400 is Jacob Moretz. Give it up for Jacob. We have a nice certificate for all of them and the check. So don't go away so you can get your stuff. Our first runner-up in the bluegrass category is Taylor Parks, everybody. Taylor Parks takes home $600 and a lovely certificate with his name on it. Well, I guess by now you have deduced that our winner, our first place finisher in the bluegrass division of the Scott Street 5-String Finals for 2019 is Stewart Werner. There you go. We're gonna give. Oh, well, come over here. I can give you your trophy, but we're gonna do a group shot. There you go. How about that? Hold that up and let's get a nice box and we get the fingerprints off of it too for it. All right, and let's move on to our claw hammer division, and we are proud to announce that in third place, our second runner-up is Nicholas Wingo is here today to take home $400 and a lovely certificate and a hang with all these greats like Riley Bogus down here. How about our first runner-up in clawhammer? It's Hannah Cantrell, everybody. Hannah Cantrell, our first runner-up. So there you go. Our first place finisher this year. It's paid her to come back. How about it for Claire Childress? So there they are. Y'all can go get your instruments, and we'll get the judges up here, and we'll have one great big last. And we got a few minutes to do it. Got to hurry, and we'll get everybody up here to leave you with a little 5-string ring in your ears as you head out of the Folklife stage here today. We're so proud of all of them. We thank our judges for being up here. I will one more plug for this amazing film. John Loman, who told you about it, was so humble because I don't think he mentioned that he is all over this movie. They interviewed him extensively, and he pops up at various times through this beautiful, nearly 2-hour documentary about the Galax Festival and its 80 years and how much it's meant to people in that part of the world. And people come all over the country to that festival, the Old Time Fiddlers Convention, and it's so great because they support the young people. Tom Jones, who runs that festival for the Moose Lodge out there. Yeah, all the players come on up, all the contestants and the judges. Yeah, Tom shares with us the names of all the contestants who compete in the youth division at Galax every year, and it's been a really great source for us to be able to find some of these young players who populate our contest every year now. So, I am grateful to John Loman and the Folklife Program for having us here this year. Grateful to Ginny and her late husband, who's an amazing guy in so many lives. Scott Street, yeah, Give it up for him, and thanks to Lisa and Scott are here and the family. Thank you all for helping this contest go and gain notoriety and distinction as we've moved along. It's a beautiful thing to see. So, with that said, we'll see you at the Burt Theater Tuesday night for Fiddlin'. It's 7:15 is when it starts. It's free. Just show up, and I would say probably get there a little early, like a half hour early or so. And Josh Behrman and Rachel Dunaway are going to be in the lobby playing some music for you as you come in, and it's again just free. So, but better get there early to get a good seat. Tuesday night at the Burt Theater to see Fiddlin'. All right. I'm not sure who's the ringleader in this outfit. The tallest one? Yeah, that makes sense to me. So anyway, thank you all for coming. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of this amazing festival. It is a dream come true. It's an impossible dream for many of us who've been involved since the beginning to see how far this thing has come and the impact it's had on our community and our lives collectively and individually. It's been a real joy. So we hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. And yeah, and oh, by the way, Sammy is on Altria tomorrow, the Lonesome River Band, playing over there at, I think they're the second act, maybe 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock on Altria. So I'll see you over there. I'm emceeing over there all day tomorrow. All right, Sammy, what you got? John Henry. Sounds like a winner to me. Make it kind of quick and devilish like Doc Watson would want it to be. A little quick and devilish. All right. Camera off, baby. Our 2019 judges and contestants in the Scott Street 5-string finals. Here they are. Sandy, Riley, Brett, Malcolm, and all the youngins. Y'all go for it. What's that?